So welcome to another video. Today I'm actually going to go over how to optimize your Windows PC. Maybe it has become slow over the years and it's just not snappy as it used to be. Or you want to just get it on the right track when you buy your computer brand new out of the box. You just want to get it on the right track. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that as well. What most new computers come with these days is they come with trial software. Usually some sort of license agreement with the manufacturer and the software company. And they're gonna, pay them X amount of dollars to put their trial software on there in hopes that you would pay for it. So usually what I see most common is they'll include some sort of McAfee free tools with some trial software, NORTON suites of some sort, as well with 30-day free trial, Microsoft Office trial. It's always on there as well if you're not gonna use that. So what I'd recommend for a new computer, even if you haven't bought your computer yet, go ahead and get yourself a copy of Microsoft Signature Computer. And what this means is what it says down here. The best PCs meticulously configured. What that means is that they do not have any licensing deals, they don't have any deals or any ad deals with these software companies anymore. They completely strip them out, and it doesn't have any trial software whatsoever in any shape or form. Not even Office trial software as well. I do own a Microsoft Signature computer, and the only downside to it is that it's like slightly more expensive, but I still recommend getting a Microsoft Signature computer. Also, another downside to Microsoft Signature computer is that you might not have the computer you want. So you're out of luck. You're going to have to go buy it somewhere else, either a Newegg, Amazon, eBay, wherever you're going to buy it, even a big box store, even though I do not know why you would buy it at a big box store with taxes and whatnot. So you go ahead and do that, and it's going to come with trial software. So if your computer has trial software, we got to get rid of it. What I recommend is get yourself a copy of SLIMWARE Utilities SLIMCLEANER, free version. Oops, free version. I have it down here in the background. You want to go ahead and hit the tab. Oops. Go ahead and hit the tab. It's software, and just select all the trials, security, antiviruses, firewalls, any trial software you're not going to buy or not going to use. If you have a question about if it's a legit program or something that you need, just rely on the rating system right here. If it says good, chances are it's probably needed if it's not a trial software. I recommend removing all the red, orange, and even yellow bars that are shown on here, and just go ahead and remove. Chances are it's probably going to be malware or some bloated piece of crapware of some sort. This is community based, so it's constantly being rated by the community, and it's giving ratings if it's good or bad or not. So that's SLIMCLEANER. This applies to older and brand new computers. The next tip is you want to go ahead, if it's an older computer, you want to go ahead and run the cleaner tab up here. I'm going to go ahead and just run it. Make sure you just go ahead and hit analyze and just clean out all the temporary files and just go ahead and clean them all out. Just simply hit the analyze button, and that's all you got to do. Don't have to get anything more fancier than that. That's basically it. Also, my next tip is that for some reason, from experience, clients will pay for the first year of antivirus, but they won't pay for the second year. So what they usually do is not uninstall the expired antivirus and just put a free version of the antivirus, and they just sit there. They're both at the same time, and for some reason, clients don't quite understand why they have to pay for the second year. They think it's going to be for life. But you want to go ahead and again go back into the software and make sure you don't have two antiviruses in there, and just hit uninstall. Make sure you get rid of them. Everything. Just get both antivirus. Just get rid of them. Like I always say, you always have to pay for your software. You always have to pay for your antivirus. It's just the antivirus, and the reason for that is because you get better updates. The updates are quicker, and you're better protected than the free version. It is what it is. So what I can recommend is get yourself a copy of NORTON Symantec Antivirus for $12.87, which is really reasonable compared to what they're selling on their website, or a copy of Kaspersky for $18. I recommend Kaspersky Antivirus, but it's a little bit more expensive. I'm currently using AVG, because since it's so popular, oops, let me try that again. Right here, AVG. Because I'm gonna try and give that a whirl because it's very popular, and I want to see how it performs for a whole year. But if you still don't want to pay for your antivirus, even though you should, go ahead and get yourself a copy of Microsoft Security Essentials. Just go ahead and select the version from the pull-down tab here, and select your appropriate version of operating system. If you have Windows 8, you scroll down and just get it down here, right here. So that's what it is. So the next tip I'm going to go over is probably your computer is infected with malware. Chances are it probably is. You want to go get yourself a copy of MALWAREBYTES and SUPERANTISPYWARE. And also you want to run a full scan of your antivirus software, a full scan. Chances are it's probably system hogging your machine, and you know that's why it's slowing down. Make sure you just get everything rid of everything. But most importantly, you want to go ahead and hit the start tab down here. Mine's a little bit different, and type in msconfig. Select the startup tab and just uncheck all the software you don't need. The most common one I turned off is Skype. I'm not on Skype 24/7. I just turn on Skype once a week, maybe, just to talk to my family in California. That's about it. So there's no reason why it should be on there. Just simply go to start button, type in Skype, and just launch it from there, and it'll just launch right up. The iTunes as well, you want to go ahead and check that as well. If you have a question about any programs that should be running, like let's say for example, let me see, let's say for example, like my AVG internet, you don't turn that off. Don't turn off your antivirus software, because you want that to run at the startup. So just make sure you don't turn that off. If you have a question, Google search it and find out if you should run on a startup or not. So that's basically it. What else? Also, a big major issue that I find when I'm repairing computers is that people do not update their computers as they should. They don't patch them up. They don't get the latest service pack or whatever the deal might be. You want to go ahead and go into the start menu and type update, and just go ahead and check for updates. Let me go ahead and highlight that. Check for updates. Click the check for updates tab. Make sure you've done all your updates and just patch. Not only is you're going to be more protected from viruses, but it's going to sort out all the bugs or any technical glitches that it might have on your operating system. And it's very important. If those of you that remember from Windows Vista, is that as Vista progressed forward, Microsoft continued to release more and more patches and fixes, and Vista became smoother and smoother and smoother and more efficient. Same deal here. The operating system just becomes more and more stable most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. But you still want to get those security updates as well. So now that I've gone over all the free options and some paid versions, if you want to get a signature, Microsoft signature, or if you want to pay for your antivirus, you can go. If you want to get a little bit more drastic, I do recommend getting yourself an SSD. If you notice here in my system configuration box, oops, let me try that again. Right here, you notice that I haven't unchecked anything. For the most part, I haven't unchecked anything. And the reason for that is because I'm running a solid state drive as my main drive. Solid state drives are blazingly fast and is the #1 bottleneck of PCs today. So you want to go ahead and get yourself a solid state drive if you want to spend some money. The downside with that is that one, you're gonna have to back up all your data and reinstall the operating system on the drive. So it's going to be time consuming and whatnot. And solid state drives are not cheap. Not yet, but they're not cheap. Another paid option that you can go over is you want to go ahead and make sure that you have at least 4 gigabytes of memory if you're running a 64-bit operating system. In order to get to the screen, you go ahead into right-click into my computer and just hit Properties, and this screen just pops up. A few closing notes. This is a very basic procedure I follow with all my computers. I have repaired, and I just followed it. This is just the standardized list that I came up with repairing computers for such a long time. There are many other options you can go into, and turn off the policy of this thing, turn off this service, and turn off that service, turn off the search index. Make Windows 7 look like Windows 95 for better performance. Like, yes, that does speed up your computer, and the reason I do not go over this in this tutorial is because, one, I don't want my client calling me back and saying something's not working properly. That unknown part of the procedure, what's going to mess up, and they're just going to blame it on me. And I don't want you guys to be in the same boat and mess something up as well. So that's why I do not go into any deeper details. Most of the time, this will work for you, and it will speed up your computer, quite reasonably. Now, if your computer is still slow, if it's still noticeably slow, you probably need to upgrade your computer and buy a brand new one. If you're still running on, Vista or an earlier version of Windows 7, like an older, like running with 2 gigs of RAM or something like that, with the Pentium processor or something like that, you want to go ahead. It's probably time to upgrade them, because if you're going into like turning off search index, turning off this, turning off that, then you're just going to cause yourself a whole lot of pain when you install something in the future. Probably, maybe, I don't know, but that's how it's going to work. So thanks for watching, and if you have any comments or questions, just leave them right below, and I'll try to answer them as quickly as possible. And thanks for watching.